that open door. Show me proof that there is something more. I just hope I am okay with the choices I make.
I was not there for like a hot sec. Hi guys, welcome. I am so happy we're doing this. I realized last stream that I was like, it kind of feels very empty without music. So I was like, you know what? Let's add music. Let's add that. So I decided to add music, and so now we have music. But yeah, so I added music today, and you know, it's not one of my streams if technical difficulties doesn't slow me down, but we're pushing through. You know, we didn't make it to 10 o'clock, so that's a good sign. That we, you know, we finally got this stream up for today. Let me pull up my streamer bot chat so I can see how everybody's doing. But yeah, basically, let me see if Vertical can see. Vertical cannot see me. There you go, Vertical. Now you can see me. I don't know why it's glitching. It's doing its thing. Like I said, it's gonna be a weird couple of days till the whole system is finally like mellowed out for the most part, and then eventually it'll chill out. Most of it is due to that because I'm doing this earlier, there's some things that, like, if I'm not used to this time. I'm not used to coming on at 9 o'clock. I'm used to coming on at 1 o'clock in the morning. And so not only do I have to get my family used to the fact that, you know, I'm going live when they're out and about and not like when they're sleeping, which is a whole different paradigm shift for them. But also it's a whole different thing for them because I'm doing something, you know, I'm doing stuff earlier, so they can't. So when they ask me to do stuff, I can try to do as much as I can, but sometimes that takes up my day, and then what will happen is then I'm like rushing to get everything done before stream, and it's like a lot. I don't know if the chats are on. Let me see. I don't see anything in terms of the chat. Okay, I don't see anybody is talking yet, so it should be fine. I always get concerned when the chat gets quiet because I'm like, did I disconnect? And then that's why it's not working? Like, I don't know. So for me, it takes a minute for me to like go and get things done, and it's gonna be a little while, but you know, we're doing this today. Today I like, just to go into what I was doing today before stream, I was going in, my mom got like a ton of water bottles on sale, so I had to end up putting them into the fridge. Oh, hi! Hi, ZG! Welcome! But yeah, like, my mom bought like several crates of water bottles because apparently there was a giant sale, and it was too good to turn down. Yes, I'll hydrate. I'll get water. I made sure to prepare. There. I got my cup. Yeah, it was several crates of water. Like, an excessive amount of water. And I was like, oh my gosh, what type of sale did they give you? Like, what price, like, got you to buy all of this? You know, I was so confused. But she liked it. And, you know. Yes, I'm drinking water. And yes, I can drink to my heart's content, but most of it's gonna be going to my brothers and my dad who work outside. And the heat in the south, oh my gosh. I was just putting away the water bottles and I had to, after, go and cool down in my room because I was so overheated. From getting all these heavy crates of water into the fridge. And putting away soda, and like, it was a lot. I was just like, oh my gosh, like, this is excessive. And I had to lay down. I got overheated real quick. But that's because right now in the south, it rained, but then, like, now we're stuck with, like, a heat wave that's going on. And it's like, oh my gosh, it's blistering out here. The whole state is, like, right now hot. And it's, like, humid hot in the south. So it's, like, there's a reason why we have feels like numbers. Feels like numbers. The reason why we have to say feels like is because the water changes how hot you actually are. So it could say, oh, it's 70 degrees. But because of humidity, it could easily be like 80. You know, it can, on your skin, like, add 10 to 20 degrees to that. It's like, oh my gosh. And it, like, today was like a very hot day. So I was like, oh my gosh. I'm like picking up all of these, like, cans of water, cans of, like, soda and water, and I almost passed out. It was bad. But I'm glad I got them all in the fridge, the outside fridge, because we put our drinks in the outside fridge, in our backyard, because we have, like, a living room in our house, and then we have, like, a patio type living room type setup in our backyard. There. But yeah, I'm so happy the music's back for me. Like, I was like, at last stream I was like, oh my gosh. I was listening back the stream because I have to edit the streams after. Because even though I'm not gonna be editing the streams to have their own, like, I'm not gonna edit them so that way they have their own thing, like their own video. I still have to cut them down so that way, you know, a normal person can watch. A normal person can watch, because I don't want them to go and, like, go and, like, watch it and then they tune out. And so I have to go into YouTube's editing manager, and it's a pain in the ass. But, like, once I do that, I do all the necessary cuts, and I cut those videos down, and I'm shocked by how many people showed up to last stream, the Stardew stream. I was like, oh my gosh, when I looked at the final count across all of the streams that I had running, 270 people watched. That was shocking to realize that 270 people watched my stream. So I was shocked, effectively, when I looked at the numbers, and I'm like, oh my gosh, that's almost 300. I just, like, doubled my numbers, almost. But I was so shocked, but yeah. Like, I nearly doubled my numbers, because usually I will get, like, if it's a good stream, like 150, and we nearly got to 300 views, across all the streams. and that was wild to see. That people really enjoyed me playing Stardew that much, and the fact I got like almost 8 I think 8 or like 6 or 8 subscribers in that time period as well. So I was like, oh my gosh, that's a lot. And the average on that was like 2 hours per person. 2 hours per person. So imagine the watch time. The watch time, if I remember correctly, across all the streams, it was 170, I think. 170. So almost 200 in watch time hours just from the Stardew stream, which is shocking. You can see I am thrilled. I really love that people, you know, enjoy. Yeah. I am 2 away from 200, which I'm really hoping we can get to that this stream, but I know that we'll eventually get to it, and then it'll be an amazing achievement. Like, I'm in no rush to be like, oh my gosh, 200, you know. I'm so excited for when that happens. I know it will eventually happen. Like, but I'm not like, oh, I have to get to 200. You know, I'm soaking it in and savoring the moment, but not getting carried away. Because you don't want to get carried away, and then it's like, okay, then you're like getting all in your head, and then you're like, oh yeah, I'm getting to 300. It's gonna be like so easy, right? And you just get in your head, and then what ends up happening is you just start to go crazy. And I'm trying not to get there, trying not to get a big head, trying to be humble still. Try to be humble, not, you know, go crazy, because I know I've met people, like, not kidding, I have met people who they get to like 100 and then they're like, oh, you're beneath me, you know? Can I get a raise? I want some more prison food each day, more than my 2 meals a day. I barely eat one. I sometimes forget to eat some days. Not because I'm trying not to eat, just because I forget. I'm so busy, I forget. I'm that person that I end up forgetting to like eat sometimes, or I'll go and I'll like I'll always remember to drink water. That's one thing I'll always remember to do. I remember to drink water. I always remember to like go and take my medicine. Now, will I forget if I took it one day and I took it another day and take them on different days? Yes, that happens often. But I remember to take a medicine at the very least. The problem is I have too many pills. So what ends up happening is I'll take my iron gummies. Those I had to change them because it wasn't enough of an event to pop the pill in my mouth. So what I ended up doing is change my iron pills into blue gummies, so that way I have this little joy of eating a salty blueberry of a gummy every single time. And I'm just like, it just gives me joy whenever I eat the blue gummies. But I eat the blue gummies. I have my pills for my heart, because I have heart medication, because I have really, I have a family with a history of heart disease, so I have to take heart medication to lower my cholesterol, and I'm on the highest dosage, so it's a lot. I have to remember, that one is the one that I really need to remember to take every single day, but I tend to, you know, sometimes forget. I also forget to take my my allergy medicine, and then that ends up being a very big problem, because then I will be like, oh yeah, let's walk outside with I want to walk outside with my siblings and go on a walk, you know, get out, have fun. And then I forget to take the allergy medicine, and I'm like, why am I so itchy? Why is my skin red? Why do I have all these rashes? And it's because I forgot. You know, I forgot and walked outside. That was a bad decision. Like the one day where went a week unfed because you forgot I was in your basement. I'm forgetful, but at least I take care of people. But yeah, like literally, and then I have another medicine where it's like for my other medicine, it's more for like to help with the other medicines, but I tend to forget that one as well. I forget what the name of it, but yeah, so basically I forget to take my medicines. I'll like sometimes I will remember the iron gummy, but sometimes I'll forget to take my heart medication, or sometimes I'll forget to take my allergy medicine, or sometimes I'll forget to take the other medicine, and then like on another day, and I took medicine, but I didn't take all of it. And that's what happens because I have to take them at different times, and so it becomes a whole deal, if you know what I mean. Of you know, trying to remember to like take it and not forget. Steve says he wants to leave. Jeremy is sleeping. Dave is being Dave. Oh gosh. Yeah. Tell him to keep it down. Um but yeah, so basically I'm working on that. I'm trying to get better at that. My mom, because I keep forgetting, my mom's like, "Do I need to get you a like pill of the day calendar thing? Do I need to do that? Do I need to make it an advent calendar? Like because you keep forgetting. Like it's that bad." So she's looking into getting me like one of those weekly pill things, but I know for me that's not gonna work because I'm gonna forget to put them in the pill container, and then that will just end up not working. Like I even like Steve, Jeremy, Dave, and me, the basement quartet. Oh man. Are you able to sing songs? Am I able to request songs, DJ? Oh, oh man. But yeah, so basically so I'm working on getting better at remembering my medicine. On top of that, I right now my boss is ghosting me, so I'm like, okay, not great. I don't know what's going on. So I'm like, great, my boss is ghosting me. I don't know what's going on, but I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna not go crazy. I'm not gonna go crazy. I'm just gonna chill out because, I don't know what's going on. We all know is we are hungry. We are hungry. Okay. Okay. You don't have any other song requests of like what is the stupid song from Outer Lands? Like from Living Tombstone, I think. I forgot. But yeah, so I'm terrible at it. I get so fixated and I forget things, but yeah. But yeah, my boss is ghosting me, so if you're my boss, if you are watching me right now, give me work. I know you've been holding off on me. You need to give me work. But yeah. And so that's happening. But also in writer news, I got the internship. So I'm starting on the 12th. I'm going to be starting on the 12th for the internship. I don't know my days. I've been trying to work with my family to figure out what I'm going to do transportation wise. Because, going on trains is going to be a lot, and I'm like, okay, what stations should I go? Because we have a very, very crime-ridden, like, train system, and I don't want to go on one of the bad stations. My family are already concerned by me not having a sense of danger. So that's already a concern to start with. But the fact that I am like, okay, I need to take these trains. I might have to take them probably maybe every couple days. And if I don't, I have to be good. All we know is the live graveyard. Oh man. But yeah, so basically I've been doing that. So I've been like planning that out, trying to figure out what stations to get off. There's one where it's like in a bad neighborhood, but if I take the Uber ride, it's only 20 minutes from the station to the television studio. But if I do the one in the good neighborhood, that gets off in the good neighborhood, that one, I would have to do a like 40-minute Uber ride, and the difference between a 20-minute Uber ride and 40 minutes is 20-minute Uber ride, that's like $15, and a 40-minute Uber ride, that's closer to 36. So, where's the job at? Downtown Chicago? It is in a city, so it's in a major city. So because it's in a major city, it's like really like heart of the city. So I have to be very careful. This is an area that's notorious for people getting mugged and people getting like their stuff jacked. So I have to be very careful. My brother's like, my brother bought me pepper spray. My brother bought me pepper spray because he's like, we want you to be safe. I own finger knives. So whenever I go on the train, I bring my finger knives. So just in case, if you can at least pierce the skin, you can, keep people away. And I think Gotham. It's good. We'll say Gotham City just for the joke. But yeah. But I have to be very careful. On the like train system. Because there are a lot of ones that they lead into very bad communities. I can get like very hurt, and because I have no sense of danger, I don't know if the person coming up to me is going to hurt me. I don't have that perception of, oh, he has malicious intent. Like, he seems like he's gonna be malicious. I don't have that. So I'm just like, okay, I don't know where the danger's coming from. I've been mugged before. And that's the sad part. I've been mugged in a Taco Bell. Quietly in front of the manager of Taco Bell before. So it's happened before. And I just I didn't understand what was going on. And I just was like, I wasn't scared at all. I'm just like, what can I do so I can get you away from me? Like, can you get away from me? Like, not registering the danger of this guy is like holding something to my back. And I'm just like, what can I do to get you the fuck away from me? Like, let's teach you some skills about crime prevention. Yeah. But yeah, I've been mugged before. And everybody was like, how did you not notice that you were getting mugged? And then what was worse is that I didn't realize that something was wrong till the guy decided to continue to follow me to my job. And then my boss at the time, my managers at the time, they were like, oh, we gotta get her away from that dude. Like, I didn't know. And then after that, they made sure that at least one of my managers would stand next to me while I waited for my ride for the entirety of when I worked there. Because that was a problem that kept happening. Yeah. This is why why in Apothecary Diaries, I don't shade Mao Mao for the fact she gets kidnapped every single time. I'm just like, I relate to you, girly. I sadly relate to her. I relate to her so bad. She just doesn't sense danger, and I'm like, yep, we're on the same level. But yeah, I live, like, luckily I live, like, very far away from that from too much craziness, but I do still live in crazy. But yeah, so that internship, I'm excited for it. It's a good opportunity, and, like, considering that, like, we've had a lot of people that have gone to that studio have worked later on for, like, bigger studios. Like, they've worked for Access Hollywood and all of them. You know, it would be amazing to, like, eventually, like, get something similar, if you know what I mean, with my experience and everything. But yeah, so I'm like, oh, it would be so cool to do that. But yeah, I am, like, excited. Since you're between 20 and 30, their intentions might change. So if you see a man staring at you, make sure you keep as much distance as possible and make sure he isn't following you. Yeah, I kind of figure at this point. The only problem is I don't run fast and I don't walk fast because of my problems with my legs. So I'm very slow. Like, I don't move very fast. Like I most of the time I just get out of situations off of sheer luck, because I'm just like, I've got bad luck, but for some reason I also have very good luck. So it's, I have, like, think I am the most lucky person that you'll ever meet, but also the most unlucky person that you'll ever meet at the same time. Like, for example, like, I've fallen off of a mountain before. Like, luckily I didn't get hurt, and a tourist group pulled me back up onto said mountain. But, like, the fact that I have that as a memory. You know, I am someone that fell off a mountain. I am also someone that, like, has been mugged but also didn't get hurt. Like, I get myself into weird situations. And that's just how I am. I just don't know why it's like this. You know? No one will ever know. But yeah. But I'm trying to work on being, you know, a little better in public. You know? Because I suck at being in public. But yeah. So we're figuring out public transportation. Eventually I will have that. And we're trying to get me more mobile, because right now, since I don't drive, I have to come up with something. And I don't drive mostly because I'm scared of what I will do rather than what someone else will do to my car, you know. But it's gonna happen eventually. Yeah, my brothers are right now, like, they just did their premiere for their video game that they did for their class. So they're so thrilled, they're ecstatic that everything went well. And they also did, like, a project where it went to they did the animation for a major exhibit in, like, for a big museum. So they're also, like, super excited that they also got to do that. I was gonna help them out and do some voice acting, but stuff didn't line up. unfortunately, I, like, at the time, I had, like, stuff going on for Black Friday and stuff going on during, like, the during the hurricanes and everything, that I just ended up having to tell them, hey, I can't be on the project anymore. And that sucked. I hope one day I get another shot at doing voice acting, because I really enjoyed it and they really liked my voice. They actually wanted me to be the main character, but I couldn't do the lead role. I just was so busy with work that I couldn't do it at the time. But it's, one day we'll, maybe one day I'll do another voice acting opportunity, or someone will see my portfolio and be like, yeah, that one, let's do it. We love that voice. We want that voice. Maybe one day I'll get another shot at that. But, you don't know until you try, I'm just waiting for one day I'll get that. But it just requires me doing more voice acting work and trying to, like, show my skills, and hopefully one day someone gives me a shot at it, or gives me the ability to voice something. I would love to, like, voice an anime character one day. Like, that'd be cool. Like, voicing an anime, or if I got to do something for VivziePop. Oh my gosh, that would be so amazing. Like, doing a, like, character for VivziePop. Like, don't even care which series it is. Like, I don't care if it's part of Has Been or Hello Boss. It would be just so cool to do that and just be, like, a Hellion. That'd be cool to be a Hellion. If I ever got to, so that way it could go with my lore of my channel, if she listens to this, VivziePop, if you're listening now and you want to cast me, please make it for the role of one of the Leviathan creatures. I want to be a Leviathan. Like, if I got to be a Leviathan, it would be so cool. I want that. That would be amazing. Like, I would just want that because, like, my whole thing, I love undersea stuff, and I love, like, Lovecraftian powers and stuff like that. I love H.P. Lovecraft, so, like, if I ever got the chance to ever work with VivziePop, I would want to be a Hellion Leviathan. Like, it even goes with my aesthetic. You see with my mask. It would be just so cool to be, like, a Leviathan character of some sort, or work for Azazel, not Azazel, but I'm blanking on the name. Oh my gosh. The guy that, the Overlord that kind of has the spidery eldritch aesthetic. Like, I also would love, that would be also another one where, like, just being one of the underlings for that'd be amazing. That'd be amazing. I would love it. But I know that that's a long shot. It would never happen, most likely. Considering that, like, it would be, my life would have to change so different. Stuff would have to happen so drastically with this YouTube channel to where, like, that would go out to somebody, and I would have enough of a fan community where someone would have to would be, like, pushing and saying, oh yes, let's cast Chrissy. Something would have to happen. But, oh man, I would love to voice something for VivziePop, or for an anime. Or even any, like, animated, like, pilot. Like, one of the animatic pilots, I would love that. like, I love the YouTube series that have been on YouTube, like, oh, I don't want to be a magical girl. Those have been so cool. And it would just be so cool to be like, to have my voice be on one of them. Like, I'm hoping one day I can develop this channel so I could do something of that anyways, and then I'm like, okay, I get to do it for myself. But, you know, that'll take a long time, and eventually I will get there, but it'll just take a long time, and I don't know when that would happen. But yeah. But yeah, so I am like so excited for for us to start writing. I've been like up last night. I was like, I passed out hard. Like, I didn't wake up till like 4. Hey, Real Eternal Nerd, welcome. You having a good day? Yeah, good. I'm happy. I'm doing good. We just went in. I was just talking about what I've been doing for, past couple days, and what I did today, almost overheating, moving giant crates of water into an outdoor fridge. So that, not great. Yeah. But, you know, been her for a minute. You've been here for a minute. That's good. Are you enjoying the stream so far? I always do like a just chatting section, because I know that if I don't do it, then I'm talking about it all throughout the writing process instead of actually doing the writing process, which is not very, intuitive to what I'm trying to do. And I'm trying to not to do all of that. I'm trying to, be on task and be on focus whenever I do the streams, ideally. Like, if I'm going to do whenever I go to do a stream, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna allow an hour for me to goof off, and then I get the other hour, then I will go and do the stuff, and then if I need a break, then I'll do a little talking session again. But yeah, so it's like, okay, it's my time to like check in on people, say hi, ask them how they've been. Yeah. That's how I am. I like going and checking in on my audience and seeing how everybody is doing. I like, you guys come from whole different backgrounds. Like, I've had people from like Norway reach out to me, Mexico, Asia, Japan, like India. I've had a couple people from like Finland and Russia. So it's like, I get these really cool stories. So I like doing just chatting for the first bit, because then I can get these cool stories from you guys about what you guys got going on, and what's your story about. And it gives me like a world view sometimes. I get to like know something that I probably didn't know about somebody's country. I'm kind of doing the same thing, lol. I get. Yeah, I really enjoy that. It's so fun to hear what others, go through, because you're always in your own world, and you never know what other people are going through. It helps to hear what's going on with others. Yeah, it helps, because then you have an outside perspective, and you can kind of like think of things in a different way than you would usually do. Also, Real Eternal, if you notice, you're able to play with Shelly, because you're on the Twitch side. If you want the commands for Shelly, it's on the About page. But yeah, you can call me Ren for short. Oh, that's totally fine. That's totally Ren. Fine. That's totally fine, Ren. But yeah. But I was trying to work on before stream getting Shelly, making Shelly to the point where Shelly can finally interact with YouTube, but I have to actually go and talk with the Etsy seller about it. If I can, I could try to find either a game studio open to people to voice act, or see if Vivzy has open positions. It'd be amazing. That'd be cool. Yeah. It's the thing is that, like, she's not technically a bot. She's actually a she's a gaming she's a whole gaming application. So she's an actual application, not a browser page, not anything. She's an application. So for me to mess with it, I actually have to ask the creator, hey, can you update the application to send me code to update the application so that way Shelly can do more things, or give me instruction on how to update the application for myself so I can update Shelly for YouTube, which is a bit of a pain, but I would love to do it so that way you guys can do it. You've seen with the fact that you guys now are able to mess with the Twitch integrated throwing system that I've been working on coding that one for a while, on like finding solutions. So I will find a solution for you guys, but it's just gonna take a while for me to get there. Hi, Savannah. But yeah, I'm coding solutions and I'm trying to get them all set up. That way you guys can, pet Shelly eventually. And then you can give her cookies and give her love, and Shelly will be a happy little axolotl. Yeah. But so let's get into it, because we're in the hour. We did our hour of talking. So let's see what we want to do. All right. Here are your choices. You guys, these are your choices. We're not doing Stardew because we did Stardew last session. So we're not doing Stardew today because we did that last session. Do you guys want to do DeathNote, Blue Exorcist, 3 Months of Happiness, or Happy Wheels? Say it in the comments. That way I can see on both the Twitch side and the YouTube side. Because I can't do a poll because you guys both can't vote against each other. So write in the comments. Which one do you want me to write? For those of you who need a refresher on the stories, DeathNote, guy gets a notebook where he can kill people with it, and he starts murdering everyone around him, and a detective tries to take him down. Blue Exorcist, son of Satan, and basically wants to rebel against his dad and become a priest, basically, so he can go and take down his dad. 3 Months of Happiness, a guy trades away the rest of his life for only 3, and he's left behind 3 months of life left. So he has enough money to live off of. And Happy Wheels, it's a video game, where that one we're coming up with the story, and it's basically people doing deadly obstacle courses to go and win a competition against people. So take your pick. We got 1 vote. What are the other votes? Which one do you want to do? 3 Months of Happiness is going well. Happy Wheels, okay. Happy Wheels for the Twitch audience. All right. And let me see. Let me check how many people are in the chat. In total. So on this side we have that. On this side, it's that. And then let me check on the Twitch audience. All right. So I think it's going to go to 3 months. 3 months of happiness, I think it's going to be the winner for today. So, let me go and take down my, let me go and set this up. Choose template, teleplay, and new. All right, and this. Okay, so let me minimize scripts. All right. So let me make sure that this is properly adjusted so that way, this is how I find out if it's properly adjusted. I go in I type gibberish. There, typed the gibberish. Yes. All right, type the gibberish. Looking at the vertical side, vertical. Let me see. Let me see. And it's got to get a little bigger for the vertical. Let me see. One more. Okay, that was one too many. We're just gonna... There. We're just gonna keep it at 175. That works. Actually, let me just... Oh well. We'll figure it out. But yeah. So we'll do 3 months of happiness. So for those of you who... Jeez. I don't know where my throat went. There. For those of you who need a copy of it, I'm going to loan you my copy of it. And send. So that link is to a copy of the 3 months of happiness. So you guys can follow along if you want to. So that way you can see what I'm seeing. Because I can't put it up in the stream to view, but you guys can have it on a window to check it out. If that makes sense. So for this one, this chapter, it's basically establishing the main character has a terrible life. He is poor, can't afford anything. He's late on his rent, and he's not going to, he's gonna be homeless in like maybe 2 days, basically. So for this one, we have to establish how bad his life is, and also what is he yearning for at the same time. So, let me put my microphone. Microphone, don't do that to me. No, 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 no. You don't move. That's not your job. Okay. So, what we're going to do for this one is in the summer that so the first page opens up to basically the girl he yearns for. He yearns for this girl. So let's do this. Let's go and let me go into my final draft. I just realized I forgot that this. Okay, let me try moving this over here because I realized that I'm not going to be able to see the chat if I go and I have it in the current setup. So let me see. I'm going to have to adjust this a little bit. Just realized these are the things that I forget, and then I'm just like, okay, nope. Let's go. Let me see. Okay, so that's not gonna work. I'm trying so hard to make this work. Okay, let me see. Let me fix the screen a little bit. Okay, screen capture. Display. Okay. There. Yeah. That should work out. Then let me fix the vertical, because the vertical one is also. And then we'll do. I'm just gonna put this one, so that way people that come in later, they know what we're writing. There. That works. And let me fix. Let me see. Is it back? Let me see. Did it connect? No. Is it disconnected or is it not disconnected? What happened? I don't know. I don't know if it disconnected or not. But what I do know is if I try to move it on the vertical side, it's gonna glitch out because it just crashed. It just crashed OBS. So let's hope it doesn't. I do not know if we're reconnected. Let me see. Let me turn my head all the way over here. If it turns, then I know for a fact we are back. Okay, we are back. Okay, good. We are back. Good. Okay. Because, like, my whole system crashed. So, that's not great. Let's go back. So, 3. Okay. Month. Okay. And we're gonna save it. Okay. So, here. It's exterior. Because they're outside. Exterior. It looked like a festival. Yeah. It looks like some kind of festival, so we're just gonna say, where are they? Oh, okay, so it looks like they're on, like, a ledge. Like they're overlooking it. So, let's see it. So... Hey, Sans, welcome! So we're gonna say they're on, street, staircase. Staircase. We're gonna say they're in a staircase. And it's nighttime. Staircase nighttime. 2 children are overlooking or are sitting on a staircase that lead to a park to a park. The park has a festival with red lanterns and festival goers pass by booths adorned with decorations and 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 booth attendance attendance cooking food. There. Attendance. All right. And then let me check on the next part. Get rid of all this so that way. The children are school age. Children are, we could say they're probably like, this takes place in Japan. So if it takes place in Japan, we're gonna say that just to clean it up and make it easier, let's make them older. Let's make them middle schoolers. That way it's a lot easier and we can make it a little, it's not as like, it's a lot more believable that this was like a middle school crush than like an elementary school crush, if you know what I mean. So middle okay, secondary school is what it's called. Okay. Are the children are the children have secondary school backpacks. And a hat. Okay. For those of you who are confused, in Japan, they have a structure that whenever they're in younger grades, they have a specific backpack that they're given. So that way adults know to help them and take care of them. So like they have these they'll have one particular color of backpack when they're younger, and then they'll have a second one that will happen when they're around like middle school age, and then by then they don't, when they get to high school, they don't need them anymore, and so then they can go with any other messenger bag or stuff like that that details how old they are and how much help they need in Japan, going on transit ways and going to places by themselves. So let me go back. So let me check. There. For now, I'm debating upon whether I'm going to have them put their names in here now or not. But for now, I'm just going to put child 1. Child number 1. Okay. Right now, we're going to type what they say and then edit it. Edit the scene around it. So, do I want to do voiceover or not? Because, feel like we have lived deep in our... In the summer, 10 years from now, we'll finally feel like we're glad to have lived deep in our hearts, and we'll show up, those dunces. No, it's not voiceover. Okay. For a second, I thought it was voiceover, but it's not. Fans. Okay. Let me see. Who says it? 10 years will be 20 then. Okay, so it's said by the main character. So, let's do that. "10 years." Let me see what it says. In the summer, 10 years from now is what it says. Okay. In the summer. In the summer, 10 years from now. In the summer, 10 years from now. We'll feel like we're glad to have lived. We'll finally feel like we're glad to have lived deep in our hearts. We'll finally feel glad to have lived deep in our hearts. Okay. Finally. And then we'll show up those dunces. Show up those dunces. Okay. So now that we've wrote this, I feel that for this shot to work, I feel like it's a shot where we're kind of like panning down to the children. Like we're showing like the festival, right? And then it slowly pans down. It must slowly pan down, right? To the children, revealing the kids that are sitting there. Right? This is what I'm imagining. And I see it as like, we have like the main character that we have, who's main character and like his friend we're only seeing like side profiles of their face, if you know what I mean, and of them talking, because they're just they're not even looking eye to eye, because they're looking out at the festival, right, of the life that they're like in their minds, what they think they'll have one day, right? They're looking at these festival goers that are all adults, and they're like, this is what we'll have, right? We'll come back in the summer, we'll be one of these festival goers, basically, in so many words, and we'll go and like be together, you know? And I think that definitely we're gonna have to refine the dialogue, because this is a lot for a kid to be saying. Like, I feel that, like, this is like, maybe an adult would say something like close, but like, I don't see it as like a kid. You know, I feel like it's out of place, the voice. Like, it doesn't fit the voice of what a child would sound like, if you know what I mean. It's too clunky. So, I think we've got, for this one, I think the best course of action is to do this is I'm going to write what they say, then we're going to edit it. We're going to edit it, fix it, make the scene more dynamic. And then it should then feel good. Because this is a memory, so it has to like be like warm and fuzzy. All right. So let's do that. Child number 2. Is my music playing? No, it's not. Why wasn't it playing? There. Now my music's playing. There. There. Now it's playing. Cool. Oh, my eyes are stuck. Yeah, I added music because I was like, last time I noticed that I was like, it kind of feels awkward when there's like no music and I'm writing. Like, it would be better for the music to just be playing in the background, so that way like it doesn't feel so much like dead air, if you know what I mean. So yeah. 10 years will be 20 then. I feel like the girl, it would make sense for her to say that next. 10 years. We will be 20 then. Okay. Oh, the question marks in the wrong place. Okay, and then writing able to drink. Okay, and then next one, character. Child 2. And it says in the thing, oh, my R's. I put an R in sometimes, jeez. Earlier. Cool. Okay. And then but I don't think I'll be able to do it. What's the music playing called? So this one is Warzone by Clarex and Shia myself. Not Shia myself. And Zog. Sorry. Featuring Zog. Sorry, maybe I read the one above it. And then the one before it was Ghost featuring Ellie Rain by Cadmium. They're all public domain. So I'm able to use them because they allow royalty-free permission to use their music. But yeah, Cadmium's famous for making like music that is like electro rock, which I love. Oh, this why there's two. Why? There's too much. I don't like.
So many people think they know me, but they only know my music. And there's so much opportunity, so hard to make the most of it. When you feel so depressed and your bed whispers just to stay in it. I think I've had enough of it. I know that I'm not gonna win. Surrendering my everything, I'm giving up, I'm giving in. Nobody understands what I'm going through. Can't explain when you don't come from it.
But yeah, you guys liking the music? I do plan to add more. It's just I haven't gotten around to adding it because I went off of adding the music for a while because I had to take out a lot of features because I wasn't sure like what was glitching out OBS for so much, and then I figured out it was media request and not media player that was glitching out OBS. So that was what was going on when I was doing it. But yeah, I love their music and they're pretty good. There's a couple of other artists, but I get the this music. I actually get the music from a specific website. It's called NCS, and they're all royalty free on that website. So you're able to use all of them. You will not get any copyright infringement thing, and you have the choice between getting the regular track and the instrumental. It's one of my favorite like websites.
You know you left me lonely, I could tell them the whole story. It may take a couple hours, I've got time, let's get the chat.
Alright, let me see.
Where do I start, where do I end? I should go back to bed. I'm going back to all the basics, teaching myself now how to erase it. It's like learning a whole new language, and I'm afraid, too scared to face it. I just want consistent clarity, but all my thoughts.
Well, in that case, in that case, when we turn 20, and get famous, if by then. If by then. But yeah, but I have a whole thing. Yay! Let me see.
Back to you, my friend. Don't even ask, don't play pretend, 'cause you think you are
And then,
everything I need,
if then,
but I gotta leave.
Shameful as it is, shameful as it is. We haven't found it. We haven't found it. Anyone we want to marry. Oh. Painful as it is. Actually, this.
She pulling me in like a black hole, trapped in a grip and I can't break. Out of control and I can't feel my soul and my heart on my damn face. Cause I ain't be nothing without her. A king with no queen and no damn kingdom. Serving up hate with a cold vengeance. Fuck, but I hate her, we can't slay them. Yeah, she's got me hooked, I'm down, I ride. Leaving, she tried to kill me, I can see it in her eyes. Yeah, she's got me shook, this my demise. I'm bleeding, can someone heal me? I can't deal with no more lies. I'll never go on like this, so don't you think you got me up? Yeah, I can't seem to deal with this. You try so hard to pull me on me.
If we haven't found anyone we want. Found anyone we want to marry. Would you want to be with me? Where is he? As a fellow people left on the shelf. Who's there? What's that about? Wait, does she say it or does he say it? Oh, she says it. I knew she said it. I was like confused. So this too.
I need a scarecrow after what you did, 'cause all of the birds know that I'm almost dead. I'm barely breathing, I'm barely awake. You left me in pieces.
If by then.
There's no more to break.
There.
Don't wake me up, not in this century. Don't wake me up, 'cause you're just a ghost.
All right.
My head.
It's a joke. Just forget about it. Okay.
You're just a memory on my lips, 'cause you're just a ghost inside my head.
But a joke. About it. Okay.
I need an angel after what you did,
But yeah.
'cause you were the devil. You mess with my head. You lied to my mother. You lied to my friends. You said that
Just forget about it. Just forget about it.
don't wake me up, not in this century. Don't wake me up, 'cause you're just a
Okay.
ghost inside my head. You're just a ghost.
There, and then just I just wanted to hear myself say it, as if I would ever go unsold. Just wanted to hear myself say it.
You're just a ghost, you're never there.
Okay.
You're just a ghost.
As if I would ever go unsold. As if I go unsold. Okay. So we typed the scene. This is so far this is the scene. Now let me see. Some pretty deep stuff for some children. I know, right? I agree, Enoch. It's pretty deep. I don't like personally I feel that like I could something there has to be a scene leading up to it though. Like something that leads to that led up to the scene or something like that, because I feel like the scene itself as a memory, that's fine. Also the music hits, but not in the type of the scene you want to play. I know, I do agree. I had to put on some music. And I was like, okay, if I'm gonna put music on, I'm gonna put something on, because last time it was just dead silent, and it was kind of weird for me. It just felt awkward. Oh, thank you, Enoch, for following. Oh. But yeah, it was kind of silent last time, and so I didn't want you guys to like have dead air while I'm typing. So I kind of was like, you know what, I want something, I wanted to go and put something on so that way when I'm typing something and I'm not talking, you're not just hearing nothing the entire time, and it's like awkward. And like last time I was really regretting not downloading the Stardew music, because it would have been so cool to have the Stardew music playing while I was writing Stardew. Honestly, just locked in playing some of your favorite music and just going to work. It is. Like, I figured, like, this is music I listen to casually anyways, so I was like, and it's like public domain. So not public domain, but it's royalty free, so I'm able to play it on YouTube. Now, if this stream was only on Twitch, then I would play something from like media request, where then I would be playing like 21 Pilots, or playing Sabrina Carpenter, or playing something else. But since this is getting streamed on YouTube Vertical, and Twitch at the same exact time, I can't afford to make that mistake. Yeah, I know. I can't play it because even though I'm not making money on YouTube right now, if I play something right now, the video could get locked off from other countries. So YouTube will make it to where my video does not play in some countries. And that happened to me once. Yeah, I actually did a short a while back, where I did it to That's So True from Gracie Abrams. And oh, hey Azzy, hey, welcome. But yeah, I did a short to Gracie Abrams, and what happened was, with that song, it actually did not show it to anywhere else other than the US. And it blocked that video, and that video, because it got blocked, only got 100 views on the shorts page, which, considering shorts for me usually are about like 1,000, you can imagine that's a big decrease in how many people are watching that video. So since then, I've been very mindful about what music I play while I stream. So I'm very careful to not like put something on that is like YouTube's gonna hate, you know? Because when you have so many streams going on, you have to keep in mind all of them, all the restrictions for each one of them. So that way you can continue doing it. But yeah. But, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, you're sending the bulb. I'm eventually gonna get... This is another thing that I've been working on in the background in terms of throwables. I've been going in... You're just experimenting? That's totally fine. Play with all of them. I don't mind. I've been experimenting with getting like throwables specific to the writing stream. So I've been like making PNGs of the DeathNote so you guys can throw DeathNotes at me. It has not been implemented, but I have cut him out. I just haven't made him into a trigger yet. So he's already cut. The PNG is made. I just have to put him as a trigger. But once I do that, Jeffrey will be an emote. Not an emote, a throwable. It'll be a throwable that you guys will get to throw at me during those streams. And I'm also looking into doing other throwables, so you can throw other stuff at me that's Stardew related. What are the cute axolotls commands, by the way? They're actually in the about page. So if you go into Twitch, go to the Twitch about page and scroll down. I have all the commands there. As you can see, as Sans is giving Shelly some head pats. But yeah, eventually, I'm planning on doing throwables that are dedicated to the stream as well. So, like, you guys could throw, I'm gonna make a throwable where you can throw, like, DeathNotes at me during DeathNote streams, which would be a funny thing to do. Or throw apples at me. That'd be a funny thing to do, related to DeathNote. Obviously, I'm beefing up the amount of Stardew ones, so that way you guys can throw chickens and throw Stardew animals and Junimos and stuff like that. They have to be specifically red apples, I'm assuming. Yes, they will be red apples, because DeathNote, red apples, you know. There's also some other things that are DeathNote related that they're a little more subtle, and I'll have those as throwables as well, because I think it would be so funny to do. Jeffrey would technically be a Stardew Duck throwable item. Yes, he would. Jeffrey would technically. Yeah, like, I could do, like, another thing I could probably put as, like, a throwable is, like, if I can get a good picture of Light and L, I can have you guys throw Light and L at me, which will be a funny thing. Like, it would be hilarious for you guys to throw, like, Light and L at me. Or, like, throw, like, things. I'm planning on making a trigger for Apothecary Diaries every time I go off topic and start talking about Apothecary Diaries. You guys will eventually be able to throw something at me and be like, you're off topic. Yes, DeathNote is good. It's amazing. We will be going back to, like, when I do the DeathNote stream, because I haven't done it in a while, I will read through what we have written before. So that way you guys can, those of you who are just now tuning into the writing streams, you guys can have a chance to read what I have written already for episode 1 and a little bit of episode 2. And I'm also going to do that for Blue Exorcist, because I have a good portion of it written. You guys will be able to go and read what I have when I do Blue Exorcist as a stream, because I've written so much, like, I've written, like, basically almost the entirety of the first episode. The only thing I didn't write was, like, one scene. Only one scene. And it's just the scene where Rin loses his job. That's really the only thing I think I am missing in terms that. And also the scene where Rin's getting bullied and his powers go out of control. Those are the two that I haven't written yet. But when I do those streams, I'm going to show you guys what I have so far written. Because, like I said, I've been writing DeathNote in the background because I love DeathNote. It's one of my favorites. It's one I go back to and write whenever I have free time. But yeah, so you guys will get to see that one. And then I'll do the same thing with Happy Wheels, where you guys will get to see what I did I'll show you my whole like diagram, updated of course, because oh my gosh, you guys don't know how much of a pain it was going and transferring all the DeathNote files over to Final Draft. I was just like, oh my gosh, I have to rewrite. I had to rewrite a lot of it. Because not that I was rewriting any content, but I had to retype it into the document because they were all formatted incorrectly when I would copy and paste them. So when I would copy and paste from Celtic to Final Draft, it kept on getting formatted incorrectly. So I had to go back and fix it and put it in the right format. But yeah, which show traumatized you, Blue Exorcist or Death Note? I assume Death Note. I experienced Death Note when I was in middle school. Happy Wheels. That's happy. You meant Happy Tree Friends. Okay, that makes more sense because I was like, Happy. Are you referring to the Jacksepticeye runs or? I wasn't sure, but yeah, we are writing a Happy Wheels movie, and so that one will be so much fun. I'm excited for it. It's gonna be so meta. I'm writing that one to be very meta and weird, and it's gonna have a Florida man because I have to have a Florida man in a Happy Wheels movie. Yes, it is gonna have the old man in the wheelchair. It is going to have the old man in the wheelchair. And basically the concept for all of the characters is that basically they're all modeled after a representation of different video games. So I have a drag queen that will represent Fallout. I have the old man in the wheelchair that will represent Solid Snake from the Metal Gear games. Florida Man represents GTA, obviously, but they're all going to represent their respective games. So animes I'm watching, I need to watch Soul Eater, Apothecary Diaries, Death Note, Jujutsu Kaisen, Free Ren, Alive, So Leveling. I watch a lot of animes when I'm bored. I watch them for writing inspiration. Soul Eater, yeah, but you have to watch Fire Force to watch Soul Eater because Fire Force is a prequel. So, Fire Force is a prequel to Soul Eater. So you have to watch Fire Force. I would watch it and read it first before you go into Soul Eater because that's the best experience if you're going to do it because Soul Eater is I'm not gonna spoil it, but there are stuff that is in the Soul Eater universe that basically come from Fire Force. Yeah. So just make sure that you watch Fire Force, read the manga, and finish it. Then watch Soul Eater. Because if you do, you'll have the best experience with it. Because you'll find all the references that they're referencing against each other. So please watch it in that order, and ideally, because you'll have a lot more fun. Let me fix something because the Streambot just kicked out the YouTube audience. I know that already, but I'm being held at gunpoint. This is a joke. I'm not actually, but by my older brother to have me watch Soul Eater with him first. And we'll already reach the halfway point. Yeah, but I highly suggest it. I'm gonna reset streamer bot. Give me a sec. because StreamerBot just kicked out YouTube, and I've got to make sure that YouTube's able to do that. Yes, close StreamerBot, minimize, 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 and there. Minimize. There. That should reset it. Okay. So let me see. Alright, nothing's going on in terms of YouTube, so it should be fine. And you're watching Girl Legion. I already do its voice in my Crunchyroll watch list. No, if you haven't watched ReZero, I highly suggest you watch it right now, because Crunchyroll actually has it without ads right now. It has it in its free category, so you can like watch the whole series without having any issues. Let me check on the YouTube sides. You guys are able to see. Let me see. Are they able to see? I'm trying to see if YouTube's able to see. They're able to. It's just they're not really talkative. That's the funny thing about these streams, is that Twitch responds more to the writing streams than YouTube does. YouTube doesn't really respond to the writing streams that much. Whereas on the Twitch side, you guys love the writing streams. You're absolutely engaged, which is hilarious. And then for the gaming streams, I get the opposite, where YouTube is so engaged with the gaming streams, but Twitch is like non-existent for the most part. Like, I find it hilarious. Have ReZero in the same watch list, and I'm trying not to watch multiple animes at once. I did it one time mostly, and I don't get motivation loss. The only reason why I don't do it is because then I get the stories mixed up, and I would hate to have the stories get mixed up. And so for me, what I do is I prefer to go and watch them one at a time. Sometimes 2 at a time, or 3. 3 is my max. 3 is max, so that way I can get through them. But if I'm really engaged in a show, I will literally like stick to only that one, and I'll let another one fall off. But for me, I really, really, really love I really love to go through an anime, check it out, be chill with it, sit with it, understand what is it doing in terms of like what do I think it's doing right and what do I think it's doing wrong, because I'm someone that has to analyze it, so my brain will not allow me to not analyze it. So when I look at it, I'm looking at it with a writer's point of view. And so when I'm watching it, I'm not only watching it because I'm like, oh yeah, this is gonna be fun. I'm also watching it because I'm like, okay, what am I gonna take from this? What am I gonna steal from this that I think it's gonna be awesome to use? So, you know, it's like, it's kind of looking at it and being like, oh my gosh, I can use this. I can take this inspiration, you know, and use it in a different way. But yeah, like, that's the problem of a writer. I realized, I didn't realize this, but I wish I did before I started film, is that, and made my peace with it before I started my film degree, that when you start a film degree, you will never look at films again. You will always look at films for what you could take out of it. And like, that's part of the reason why I understood when recently game theory and film theory and all the theory channels, they sat and they did the assumptions interview, and basically they were asking them about like, oh, you're not able to watch or play games the same anymore. And I totally understood, like I related with Lee, where Lee was saying, yeah, I'm not able to turn off my theorist brain. I'm able to be like, okay, maybe not Google this explosion of how damaging the explosion is, but at the end of the day, you will never be able to turn off that side of your brain where it's like, okay, what can I take from this? What is the video idea? What is the script idea? What are you gonna do? You know, you that never turns off. And I wish I made my peace with it when I was before I went to college for film, that I would never look at films ever again the same way. I would never look at games the same way. I would never look at any movie or show the same way again, because I will only see what's wrong with it. I will only see what's wrong with it, and I will only see all the things that they're doing right, and all the things and be very clear when they're doing something wrong. Like, I tried to watch a movie with my dad the other day, and he's like, why are you reacting so weirdly to this? And I was like, I'm just like, I could hear it. I can hear this, like, the characters have no soul. I can hear that the characters have no soul. Like, they're basically, the scene was like, I was watching a rom-com, right? And for my dad, this is a normal rom-com where it's, you know, it had like Sophia Carson in it, and it's a wonderful story for him, right? For me, on the other hand, yeah, once you enter film school, you become a film critic like magic. Yes, definitely. Because you could only see what's wrong with it. That's the problem. Ignorance is bliss. Because when I watch this movie, I'm just like, I can hear, like, I could tell by how the characters are talking, there was no women in the writer's room. Not kidding. I could tell. And that's the problem. I could tell. I'm like, I could tell. Like, I could almost tell, like, who was in the writer's room. And I was like, oh my gosh, because the shit did not sound like any, like, this sounded, like, the women in the movie sounded like they had their eyes glazed over. Like, there was no soul behind them. There's nothing going on behind the eyes. There's just like, oh, they're saying what they need to say so they can get the scene over with. But when your lead is the female, it's kind of a problem. Like, it feels like every scene she's just trying to get the scene over with. And get the scene to the next rom-com trope. Get the scene to the next thing. You know, oh, make the man happy. Like, I'm like, not to say that it's a not to say that men can't write women. They can. There's people that have done it. But the problem is that you need a writer's room with multiple perspectives. If you don't have a writer's room with multiple perspectives, it could be a problem. You can end up having the issue that it kind of does sound one note. Or, like, I would want a film where, like, let's say it's a whole entire cast of men, like, and you have a writer's room of only women. You know what I mean? Like, I would want a complete writer's room where you have people of different perspectives, different experiences, and you can then gauge and have a better, when you have a writer's room full of different perspectives, you actually have a good thing. It actually comes out well. Whereas if you have a writer's room of only people who have similar experiences to you, you're not going to deliver as good of a product, no matter how hard you work on it. It's, you can't have all of the same thing. That's like on a film project, right? How my teacher explained it is, it's like if you had, yes, I'll hydrate. Let me get a water. My joints are hurting. But how my professor explained to it is that, like, how well the class for, like, I have a film class where we do a thesis project, and he's like, you can tell when a project is gonna go well when there's enough of a spread. There's not just like, oh, you have a whole room of producers, right? But they have to take on other jobs in order to go and do the class, or there's a whole class of sound engineers and no producer, so there's no one that's going to come up with a script, and you have to force a script out of somebody. Like, that's something that happens, and when it happens, my professor's like, you don't get a good product. It almost always, people don't feel comfortable with doing something different, so they'll do something they're used to. And what ends up being the end point is you don't have a professional product. But yeah.
You left me lonely, I could tell them the whole story. It may take a couple hours, I've got time, let's get to chat. How could I explain the situation?
But yeah. Me put the water over here. Let me push myself back. Have you ever just see random text without context in a game or a book, and your mind just makes the perfect voice even though it doesn't know the context? Yes. For me, like, my brain is very predictive, so when I see a first season, my brain's able to see into the future of what that season would be, the last season would be. So sometimes I'll know what the last season is, and the last season hasn't come out for years. It, like, won't come out for another couple years. I will know how it ends before most people, because I just have this skill of prediction. That's why when I read Apothecary Diaries, I know how it's gonna end. My brain has seen all of the endings that it could possibly end in. I've seen the ending where she ends up with Jinji. I've seen the ending where Jinji becomes emperor and Mao Mao becomes in my mind Empress Lalin, and this is my like headcanon endings of Apothecary Diaries. She becomes Empress Lalin, and she leads the board of health for the palace. And Jinshi, they have 2 children. The first child is a boy, She names them after medicine. And the second one's a daughter. For the boy, this is all how my brain has predicted the ending of Apothecary Diaries. Basically, during when the heir is born, there's gonna be a coup. There's gonna be a coup on the palace, and to supplant Jinshi. And then for the second kid, what happens during that is a epidemic. But it's a yes/no endings because Mao Mao has to give up everything. Jinshi never gets a free life, but they end up together. I also have another ending that I viewed into the future that it could possibly be, where Jinshi fakes his death. Mao Mao is forever on the run with Jinshi, but they get to travel the world with each other. There's also another ending that I view in my mind's eye, that Jinshi and Mao Mao don't end up together. Mao Mao gets to see the world, but she forever, and Jinshi gets to, has to be emperor, but they forever wish to be together, and they long for the time that they wasted on each other, basically. And I see also another ending in my mind that, like, Jinshi and Mao Mao end up together, but they horribly disfigure Jinshi so that way they can live a quiet life in the pleasure district. Those are all the endings my brain has concocted, because the author gave she gave everyone a hint in the interview that she had, where she said that the ending of Apothecary Diaries is never going to be fully a happy one. It's never going to be a happy ending. It's not going to be a happy ending. It's going to be somewhat they're not going to get what they want. So from what I understood is that for that to happen, Mao Mao has to walk away from being a doctor. Jinshi has to grow into his role as an emperor. That's the one that I know works the most and makes the most sense in my brain, because of all of the hints that the story has been giving to that being the ending. Like, even down to their kids, that there's hints in the source material that they will have children. The first child will be a boy, second child will be a girl. Mao Mao loves girls. She doesn't like boys as much, but she's been warming up to them. And on top of that, I've also there's other, like, indications, like I already see how like, one of the scenes that I see in my mind's eye, this is not written, but a scene that I can see in the future happening for Mao Mao and Jinshi is on the night that Mao Mao is officially declared Empress Lalin. Jinshi will know that she's missing her family at the brothel. She'll be missing the people in the pleasure district. And what he will do is that he knows the tradition of the pleasure district, that whenever one of the consorts are married off, they will dance for several days in honor of that consort. So in my mind's eye, I see in the future that Jinshi, they'll have like a whole thing, right? But then at night, they'll have an intimate thing where Jinshi will have This isn't. Wait, this isn't a writing stream. I think you got sidetracked. I know. This is the problem with Apothecary Diaries. I get sidetracked hard whenever I do it, and it takes everything in me not to talk about Apothecary Diaries. But yeah, in my mind's eye, I already see that he goes in, he rents out, he pays the her sisters. Yeah. I think the rant is basically what I think will happen. And everything I've revealed is only stuff that you can, it's everything only in season 1. So everything in season 1, this is knowing everything from season 1 and also future ones, but it doesn't spoil anything other than the first couple episodes. This is because a lot of the stuff that I predict in the future, this has been a pattern across the series. So I've seen like motifs of something happening over and over and over and over, and eventually I'm like, that's gonna happen for that character. That's gonna happen. It makes the most amount of sense. Like, and I've predicted TV shows before. I predicted the ends of TV show. Oh, excuse me. Jeez. I predicted the ends of TV shows for me. It's like, that's why I try sometimes to not look too deep into the ends of, I try to not look for the end of the show because I want to be surprised. But part of me knows exactly where it's going, what's gonna happen, and I sometimes spoil the movie for my dad before we'll be watching a movie I've never seen, and I'll spoil the ending for my dad because I figure out the ending before we even get to like even the middle of the movie. Like, that's how bad my powers of prediction are. But yeah, let's get back into the writing, because this was a writing stream, of course, and I kind of got sidetracked. Okay. Alright. Alright. So I think we're gonna do is we're gonna continue writing what is said in the manga, and then we're going to go in I'm gonna go and write more of the scenes, and then that way we can fix them. Alright, let's go. Let's get this going, because I have wasted enough time. Because I went crazy. Also, let me check on the YouTube audience, because I kind of... Let me see. Okay, so the shorts audience are doing okay. And the other one's doing okay as well. Okay, so we're doing good. Okay, so let's get on with it. Okay. So I feel like let's see. I'm really sorry. A part-time job in blazing heat. After deeply bowing my head with the 19th, I'm really sorry of the day I seem to have had a dizzy spell and fell unconscious. Okay. Exterior. City. Day. A frail man plays unconscious. Lays unconscious. Okay, a frail man lays unconscious on the sidewalk. Food. Food. Lays around him. Around him. Spilled food lays around him. As passers by. Actually, bystanders walk past his body. Walk past his body. Man. Unconscious man. Unconscious man.
We're all searching for that open door. Show me proof that there is something more. I just hope I am okay with the choices I make. Maybe then I'll understand. You said I'd fly away.
Weak. I'm sorry. a girl stands in front of him. I'm sorry. There. Yo. Oh, that reconnected. Cool. Let's see. Part-time job in the blazing heat. Part-time job in the blazing heat. After deeply bowing my head, after deeply bowing my head, after deeply bowing my head, with the 19th, I'm sorry, the day. Head with the let me see. I'll see you, Sans. Have a wonderful one. See ya. Okay, after deeply bowing my hand for the... After bowing with the 19th, I'm sorry. Sorry of the day. Seems I had a dizzy spell. A dizzy spell. In the blazing heat, after deeply bowing my head with the 19th, I'm sorry, it seems I've had this spell. And fell unconscious. Meet and rest a while. Okay. interior. Man, sits on the floor by the window. By the window. The man sits on the floor by the window. The man sits on the floor by the window, and looks at his flip phone. Embarrass the message on the screen reads, I might just do next time is just type this up beforehand and just edit it. That would probably be a lot easier. That way you guys don't have to see me like try to type and it taking forever and us not getting to the point of this, of me editing it and changing it. I think that's what I'm gonna probably do next stream. Just write them all out. Just write out as much as I can and just have us edit it. You know? Okay. It reads, seems like a rough day. Yesterday. Take care and rest a while. Take care and rest a while. Take care and rest a while. Okay. Man sits on the floor by the window. Looks at his flip phone, embarrassed. The message on the screen reads, seems like he had a rough day. Take care and rest a while. Let me check. Anything else? No. Nothing going on. Mm-hmm. Wow. His stomach growled. His growls. His stomach growls. And he gets up. He stands up. I feel like there needs to be a cue here. Because he's about to look in his refrigerator, and I think that he needs to... There needs to be a reason for him to go and check the refrigerator, and I feel like if his stomach growls, then we can do that. Kitchen. Okay. Interior kitchen day. And he opens his refrigerator. He opens his refrigerator. Refrigerator. He opens his refrigerator. Oh, I forgot. Opens the door of his refrigerator. And he opens the door of his refrigerator and looks inside. There is no food. No food inside. Only a lone water bottle. Only a water bottle. He closes the refrigerator door. Refrigerator door. And reaches in his back pocket. His back pocket. He pulls out his wallet. Pulls out his wallet. Pulls out his wallet. The wallet has a couple coins. A few coins. Coins in the coin pocket. He closes the wallet and looks around his room. Looks around his room. There's a bookcase of worn manga and old CDs. The man sighs sadly. The man sighs sadly. So basically, I'm typing this way because there's a whole voiceover section where he's like, "Oh, you know, the day I sold off my CDs, it was like a lowest low the lowest low I ever went down." And at this point, like, I could have the voiceover, but it doesn't make sense to keep it. It doesn't make sense to keep it. Like, you could do it with a, like, you can do it with, like, a little, like, sigh, and it gets the point that he's, like, a sigh and him packing up all of his belongings and going to, like, the store and giving them away, you know? Like, it's pretty simple to do. You can do that, and that way it kind of gives, like, okay, this is your lowest low. You don't have to say, oh, this is the newest lowest low, where the only thing I could sell is my manga and my old CDs. Like, at this point, like, it's already inferred by the fact that he's opening his fridge, he's got basically nothing in his wallet, and he's got a whole bookcase of CDs, and he has to, if he sighs sadly and packs them up, we all know what that means. He's got to go and sell them because he can't afford them. So I love how I said that. I was like, okay, I'm just gonna write it, and then I'm going to go and, like, change it, and then I totally go back on that. I totally went back on that and just, like, decided, you know what, let's change it anyways. Yay. So, sadly. Exterior. City. Gay. The man walks down the sidewalk, holding a cardboard box, of manga and CDs. Walks down the sidewalk holding a cardboard box of manga and CDs of mangas. Is it mangas or manga? Like multiple. I'm just gonna say manga because it seems like that would be a plural. Both like singular and plural at the same time. And then the next shot it shows that him going into a bookshop, but I feel, considering that they say that the books were very worn and the CDs were worn, I'm gonna say thrift shop. I don't know if there's actually, is there thrift shops in Japan? I feel like there should be, because I've seen so many, never mind, because I've seen so many videos with like Sophia Nightguard going to like these thrift shop places. Never mind, I'm wrong. So yeah. He walks toward towards a shop with a sign reading sign that displays Benny's thrift shop. There. Interior. Thrift shop. Interior thrift shop. day. Tier thrift shop day, a cashier is holding clothes behind the counter. Behind a counter. A doorbell ring. A bell rings. Okay, and then man. Off screen will you take can I trade in my manga and CDs here? Can I trade in my stuff here? Can I trade in my stuff here? The cashier gestures the man to come closer. To come to the counter. Cashier, you moving? Counter. The cashier and looks at the box. You moving? Um, I see. Paper doesn't make for a good meal. Not much nutritional value. Paper and plastic that don't make for a good meal. Don't make for a good meal. No nutritional value. Nutritional value. No nutritional value. Short on cash then. On cash then. Short on cash then. Give me 30 minutes. Give me 30 minutes to evaluate. Evaluate. What is it? Got. Let's see. Okay. A money okay. A money tray. Money tray with a few coins. The cashier pushes a money tray with a few coins. The man frowns. Frowns. And grabs the money from the tray. Really hurting for money. Cashier. Really hurting for money, huh? Really hurting for money, huh? I don't feel like him saying it's not really anything recent doesn't feel right. I feel like he would probably try to downplay it. Be like, oh, it's only for the short term, you know. So he would probably say like, it's only for the short term, you know. Term is like, I don't need it. And the cashier will say like how the cashier says like, I don't really need to know how poor you are. Man. Nope. Stop. Only a short, only for a little while. Or only for a little while. I don't need to know how poor you are. You are. Okay. Or how it got that way. Or how it got that way. Got that way. Or how it got that way. I just wanted to ask you one thing. I just want ask you one thing. Ask you one thing. Would you want to would you sell some of your lifespan? Would you sell some of your lifespan? Man. My lifespan? My lifespan? Not to me. I just know it sells. No, not. I know it's. Wouldn't be for me. Not for me. Me. But I know it sells for. It would sell. I know. They sell for a lot. I know it sells for a lot. Sells for a lot. I know it sells for a lot. Not for me, but I know it sells for a lot. Don't think I'm going senile. I'm not going senile. It says something like you're not going senile. So maybe for that part, just have him say that like I would want him to get like I think he should get mad. He should be like shouldn't joke about that shit. Shit like that. Man. Shouldn't joke about things. Shouldn't joke about shit like that. Joke about stuff like that. About shit like that. Shouldn't joke about shit like that. Look, I got a buyer. Look. I got a buyer. I got a buyer and I got an address. If you want to look into it, you could. Look. Call me senile all you want. Call me senile all you want. But I got an address. Got an address. I got an address. And a buyer. But I got an address. So let me see, how much have we wrote? We wrote pretty good. 3 pages. Not bad, actually. 3 pages. We only went off topic for like a while. Lifespan. I know it sells for a lot. This. It differs from people. I feel like I feel like he needs to reject it first. Like I feel like he needs to reject it at first. Like he's like, this guy's crazy. You know what I mean? Like I feel cuz sure he's probably going to have oh my gosh, my eyes. Um hey. Hey Shelsky? Shelsky? Is it Shelsky? I don't know if it's Shelsky. Welcome. Let me check on you guys on YouTube. Cause Twitch I just quieted down. Let me see. You check on the yeah. But yeah. But Shelsky, welcome. But I feel like I think this is where I'm gonna stop for today because I think I'm tired and I went horribly off topic this time. Yeah. I think what I'm gonna do is that most of the time I'm taking up, it's not I'm spending a lot of time trying to type it rather than actually going and making any changes. And I don't like that. I think that that's not as interesting. So I think what I'm going to do is because you guys don't have any visual, it would make more sense for me to do is write it in the background, write it, label what I've changed, what I did not change. That's going to be interesting. I'll label what I did change and what I didn't change, and then you guys, then what will happen is that I'll, instead of me going and writing it in, writing the words, what I'll do is I'll just make the changes in front of you guys. I think I'll write it straight and then make the changes in front of you guys because I think that the only one that as for the manga, because like with Happy Wheels, there's no way for me not to go and do this where I'm with Happy Wheels and Stardew. There's no way to do it where it's like you go and there's no way to write it in a way where you're like, okay, like let's write this beforehand and then change it. There's nothing like that. What I could, the only thing I can do for them most likely if I were to do something is that, like, probably I could plan out the scene beforehand and, like, put, like, what I plan to write and then explain why I added it. Maybe that one's gonna be complicated. Like the Stardew is gonna be complicated, and this one, because I am trying to go back and forth and write the source material, and it's taking me forever to write the source material. I think if I go and do this in the background and write it for the animes, the ones that are mangas, write what is already available up to the whole episode, then it will take less time and we'll get through more of it. Because I think that that's our main problem right now, is that we're trying so hard to, like, go and I'm trying so hard to type it out that it's taking a long time for me to type it. And I think that that is the most problematic thing. And also, with these, whenever you're starting anything new, it takes forever. It's hard because there's no foundation work. Oh, hi, Creative One. Welcome. Oh my gosh, I love your little emotes. They're so cute, especially the spinning dinosaur one. Or I think it's a Pokemon. Maybe a Pokemon. I think it is a Pokemon. I don't know if it's a Pokemon, but it looks so adorable. But yeah. Oh my gosh, you got one with a cat? That's cute. That's adorable. But yeah. I think the game plan that I'm going to do with these writing streams, like I said, we're going to, for the anime adaptations, I'm going to write what's available beforehand. Oh, thank you for following. Thank you so much. I don't know why it didn't show on, like, the chat. That would have been nice. I'm probably going to have to program it later so I could see it in the chat, because every once in a while it doesn't show. Yeah, because the thing is that I spent this whole stream, but the problem is that I'm spending more time typing typing what is in the manga than actually editing. So what I think I'm probably gonna do, so that way it's more entertaining for you guys and you can see my process a lot better, is planner. Yes. I'm probably gonna do is just go and write everything write what is in the manga straight. Don't make any corrections or anything like that, and then label what I corrected beforehand, so that way I know what to do in order to fix what I've already fixed, what I already did, and what I did not do. I can do that because I can highlight with this. So I'm able to highlight and do redactions and stuff like that. So I think that's what I'm going to do, so that way it makes this easier. Because the big problem of this is it's taking forever. I would almost have, like, a speech to text for it just to edit. But the problem with doing a speech to text is that it doesn't know how to format. Because, like, for a script, right, it's not like a novel where there's no formatting. For a script, it's different formats depending upon, you know, where you're at in the script. So, like, if it's an action, it's a different type than that. Yeah, format's my big problem if I were to do speech to text, because it would not know when to make it an action or make it a dialogue or make it a character or a scene heading. It would just be like, okay, let's do this. You know, it doesn't make sense to do it that way. So I think for this, the best thing I could probably do is type it beforehand. The only one that would probably suffer because they wouldn't get it is the when I write Stardew and when I write Happy Wheels, because like I said, that's writing from scratch. That's a completely different process, and that one is you're coming up with a scene during the process. So I'm probably going to do that. That way we have more of it, works better, it flows better, and you guys are not like just waiting for me to like, okay, I'm typing this out and I type really slowly, and you know, it that way I'm just like, okay, let's change here, let's change this, and I'm able to do it in real time instead of, okay, let's tell you what I'm about to change and then type it out. You know, like I feel like it just it causes extra time. Type slower than you think. There isn't any wrong. Just is. I know it's just is. It's just I know that right now content wise it's a little, it's not as cool, and plus I go off topic when I do this because I'm like trying to switch between screens, and it's taking forever to switch from one screen to another screen to that, and it just be a lot easier to just do, okay, here you go, you know, let's go and just change it. Word sprints, huh? So yeah, because the thing is that like for when it's an original project, then it's like, okay, you're creating in real time. That's a really cool moment. But with an anime, I'm spending time not coming up with anything, but like typing what I have and then going back and changing it. So I think the best thing I could do is do that. And then especially since I can't show you guys what the manga looks like. You guys have to have the manga on a different screen in order to follow along of where I am. So it makes it a little more difficult. So that way it makes it easier on you guys, and for me, I think that's the best course of action that I could possibly do. That way you guys enjoy it a lot better and everybody is just more chill, you know? Oh wow, we're at 47. That's actually really good. Yeah, it makes it easier for everyone and it makes it better. Oh my gosh, I got to 200 subscribers. Wow. Nothing notified me. Jeez, okay. That was sudden. Cool. Didn't know. Yeah, I'm almost at 52. I'm almost at 50. And like on YouTube side, I just hit 200. So wow. Like in a stream. Jeez. Like, oh my gosh, thank you guys for getting me to 200 subscribers today. Oh my gosh, this has been amazing. Like, thank you, creative. That oh my gosh, the emotes. I love emotes that are like the twerking ones. I love them. I don't know why. It's just it's so funny. Like I really hope when I get to 50, like that's one of the things I'm looking forward to is like going and able to put emotes, channel points, being able to like create more fun things for you guys. An explosion. But I want to create really cool things for you guys. I want like reaching that would be so cool because I would just be able to do a lot more things in terms of integration. You guys would be able to, like, one of the things I can think of is that, oh my gosh, one of the things I've been looking forward to is doing crowd control. Like, if you guys don't know, crowd control is where you guys can affect me in a video game. So you can, like, oh, decrease my health, or go and ruin my energy, or change my character's hair color, or, you know, you can mess with a lot of different things using channel points, and I've been wanting to do something like that, because the problem is I can only put so many commands in the chat before it goes haywire. Because you guys have, like, and also, I could put a bunch of stuff in the about page, but right now, it's really hard for you guys to see it. Like, you guys can go and look in the about page, but imagine when part of the reason why I don't have as many triggers right now is that in order to do a trigger, I would have to go and, like, make so many commands. And then that list will become so large that it'll be hard to see it. So you'll be looking for a command forever scrolling if I did all the triggers I want to do. But with channel points, you guys can just filter it. You can just type it in, filter it. I just writing. Yeah. Basically, like, I really love, right now it's just, you guys just type it in. But eventually, I want to do channel points, because you don't have to pay for channel points. Whenever it's Twitch, as long as I reach 50, you guys don't have to pay for channel points. What you guys can do is just go and I can make it a redeem, and you guys are able to go and type, you're able to do the channel points, and I'm able to make it to where you have a certain amount that you're allocated for how long you watch in the stream. So if you watch a stream for, like, a certain amount of time, that's a lot of channel points that you can accumulate in a certain amount of time. And on top of that, you can, not only would you be accumulating a lot of channel points to then use, which would then effectively still allow you to do all of the triggers that I plan to have you guys still use, but it would give you a lot more. That reminds me of my fake mon, if it got head pats. Yeah. I do plan to have more throwables and more redeems and stuff like that. It takes a lot, and it's really hard because a lot of the systems are made for redeems. They're not made for commands. They're not made for you to put messages in. They're made to do Twitch redeem. And that makes it very limited because I can't do a lot of things. Yeah, programming is hard. I've been, just so that way the YouTube audience is able to throw stuff, I had to find a program, and it took me like 6 months to find a good program and code that program, so that way I can allow them to go and use the Twitch integrated throwing system, because Twitch integrated throwing system doesn't have the ability to do YouTube right now, because YouTube doesn't know how to interpret that data. So the only thing I can do is just have them type it in as a chat message. And then I've coded it into the streamer bot system. Throwing hands. Yeah, I was planning on doing eventually is, like, doing one where I can, like, have chatters, like, stuck to me. Like, you guys are able to launch yourselves at me, and you can get stuck to my head. Like, that was something I thought would be a funny thing. Because I saw something on an Etsy shop where you can have, like, your chat. They have different, like, chat emotes that would attach. For me, what I do is I do fan adaptations. So, they're technically a fan fiction because they're not officially sanctioned, but they're based upon the lore. We're not leaving the story, we're just rewriting the story to be in a film format. So you're completely changing the format, and when you completely change the format of it, there's a lot of things that change. So like, for example, in film, voiceover is frowned upon. So if you're gonna do, if I'm gonna make something into a film, I have to basically get rid of all the voiceover. And anime and manga, they use a lot of voiceover for a lot of scenes. So I have to rework those scenes where it would be talking. Or they would have to either be talking to someone, or two, I would have to rework the story to where it could be an action or idiosyncrasy or something that they do with their face. Because I'm not allowed to have voiceover. That's something that is a film rule that you're not supposed to break unless you have a really good reason to break it. Like, unless, like, you're doing a Lemonade Mouth where, like, the whole point of the movie Lemonade Mouth is she's writing a letter to her dad that is in prison and telling him the story of how their band came together. That makes sense. Then that is a narrative device, and that's a good time to use voiceover. But in film, it's frowned upon if you have unnecessary voiceover. And so I would have to change that to make it work for film. There's other stuff that goes with that. When you change a lot of scenes, you have to do that. Also, films, you have to research the cultural aspects of it. You have to figure out if it would actually legitimately be correct. Like, for example, like earlier in the scene, it wouldn't have made sense if grade school children that are in like elementary school would be like, oh yes, would you marry me in the future? When we're 20 and we're able to drink and smoke and do other stuff, would you be able to do that? That seems too adult of a conversation, but I could see that for a middle schooler. A middle schooler would be old enough to where aspects of like older life would make sense to be said, and but it's still childish enough depending upon how you write it. Authentic to the story in its own element. Yes, you're writing your own version of the story, but keep staying true to the story. Now, I do entertain headcanons. So people who they're like, oh, I have this headcanon that this character secretly loves horses and is hidden and has been like has a horse figurine. Like, if it doesn't affect the plot and it makes sense for the character, then it works. Like, for example, what I did for, like, one time I tied a slingshot to my head and I called it my head cannon. You called it a head cannon? Oh, wow. Hey, Pocus. Welcome. Yeah. So basically, like, that is funny though. So like, for example, like I launched into a stream a canon event. So like, for example, like one of the chatters, I don't remember which, said that they were like, oh, can you add Jeffrey the duck as your, like, as part of the canon? And I was like, it doesn't interfere with the plot. It actually makes it funnier if, like, we have a CEO trapped in the duck's body and forced to be stuck in our farm because he can't fly. And so he's leading a cult of farm animals. And there's a conspiracy theory that he is the CEO, but no one knows it's true, and we can prove it true later in the series, and it would just be a funny gag. Like, that works. You know what I mean? That's a type of headcanon that it doesn't change anything in the story. The only thing it does is just maybe make the character's life a little more fleshed out, or makes it something really, really funny, or adds, like, a deeper meaning to it, or something like that. like, that's where a headcanon comes in, where that'd be so perfect to do. That's why I do it like that. Whereas, like, if I were to be like, oh yeah, let's follow a hobo called Greg, you know, that's not authentic to the story, you know. That's, at that point, you're just like coming up with your own story, and at that point, just name it something different. You know, you're not doing the story anymore. So what I'm doing is something completely different from what a fan fiction writer usually does. I don't go and write an offshoot. I just write the story in my way and in my voice. Usually my voice tends to be very bloody and very dark, because I'm that person. I tend to go into detail about car accidents and, you know, running people over with isekai trucks. I know that. And being very violent and killing a whole jail house of prisoners very violently and having them fall off of balconies in front of prison guards, while, like, basically having heart attacks. Exploring the origins of Benedict Cumberbatch's Sherlock Mind Palace. Mind Palace is a fucked up place. Like, for how my brain works is I don't even dream myself. Like, you guys are you guys probably are normal people who dream about you guys doing cool shit. I don't. All my dream person does is I follow around cooler people, and I will follow around whoever I'm writing the story of. And so I will write stories based upon what I dream about, or I'll black out one day and then I'll have a full document that I wrote and hours have passed. You know? And when that happens, where I do a blackout session, like, I look like a possessed person. I look so unhinged. Like, imagine, I'm just, like, whispering characters' lines under my breath, staring off into nothing, not looking at my computer screen. I'm just typing erratically. And then, hours later, I'm just like, okay, now I wrote 2 episodes. My brother actually said that his dreams all take place in this mall, and it's essentially the back rooms in Infinite IKEA. I wish, dude. Mine is just like, one day I might be in like a Frankenstein story where I'm just like, like, I can actively walk around and like check out other parts of the story, but like I am like tied to the scene, so I can't leave the scene, but I can like walk around and like watch other people, check out cooler stuff, look closer, you know. I can have my own antics in the background. Where so like while it's happening, and I just go and follow them. Or like I'll go in, or I'll be like, okay, I'm watching, like, I like what happened with me in Apothecary Diaries, where I was just like, okay, I'm gonna go to sleep now. I go to sleep, all of a sudden I have what the future ending of the show is. I have visited it. 'Cause in dreams, when I hold my breath, what happens? What happens, dude? I need closure. I can float to the top of space as like a balloon. Oh. Yeah, no. The, like, for me, it's just like, it's like a trance walk. Like, I go and for the most part, how I see it is, it's like how people describe what being a fourth dimensional being is like, where if the fourth dimension is time, So, how scientists describe a time fourth dimensional being is someone that can interact with you, but they see you in all times that you of your existence at once. They see all times of your existence all at once, and they can interact with it. So they can interact with all versions of you, and they can walk in and go and join your story, but never be but they don't have to be a part of it for you to note. You would never notice them. That's how I describe. Like, that's how, like, my dreams work. I just am there. Toying with space, because it's the next step. Technically toying with time. You know? So, like, in a way, it's kind of like I'm jumping into alternate universes, but I am not affecting anything. Not affecting anything. I'm only just watching. I'm only watching, walking around, maybe, like, checking out, like, being like, oh, this place looks a little bloody, looking at the details, checking out the scenery. I feel time might be like 6 or something. Nah. For me, we're already in the early morning for me. Like, right now, I should be asleep. But I am up. I am up, and I am here. But yeah, basically, in my dreams, I function like a fourth dimensional being. And I guess we can make that as part of my lore. True. Like, we can make it as part of my lore. I'm a fourth dimensional being. And the funny thing is that sometimes, like, when I look at old people, I can envision what they look like when they were younger. Like, I sometimes will look at someone's face and I'm like, you would have looked like this. Like, and I imagine that. Yeah, it's fun. It's cool to, like, I'm not gonna lie, it is a cool thing that my brain is able to do. Like, I don't know if anybody else is able to do it, but that's what I'm able to do. It's kind of like a way of lucid dreaming, but you are not the main character. You are not. No one's acknowledging you as the main character. You were never the main character. You're always been just watching and writing. It's kind of like the Watchers from, like, Marvel Universe, where their whole job is to just watch everything that the MCU does. You get what I mean? Like, that's kind of the idea. It's weird. Maybe one day I'll do a video just like depicting what that looks like, but yeah, pretty much. I'm just like watching, and just I get to walk around. I could sit on the stuff. I can like be like, do funny things in front of these things and these people, but like nothing. They don't acknowledge me. I'm just there. I'm just there. They're just going through the motions of what their story is, and I am just there to witness whatever it is. Which is, like I said, cool and weird. That's my brain. I just dream in cinema. Wholesome, because too many have main character syndrome. I guess. I look at myself like I'm a reporter. Like, I'm technically stealing these ideas from, like, the joke would be, is I'm stealing these ideas from multiple universes. Like, I am dimension hopping, just writing what I witness, and then, like, turning them into stories. That would be so funny. Like, I'm just writing it, and, like, I'm just writing the rule, writing everything. Others adhere to their newness. where they don't have to follow rules and make waves, just adhere to the newness. Yes, I'm just here. Yeah, I'm just reporting what I see, and that's all. I'm just here. I'm not like my dreams. I'm not important. I'm not important. I acknowledge that I'm not important. The only thing that, for me, all that's with me is just a staticky shadow that I got. Have you read Brandon Sanderson? No, not Brandon Sanderson. I do have an eclectic taste, but like that one, no. But I'll go and check it out. I'm open to reading. For me, I'm always trying to find the next story. Stormlight Archives. I'll check it out. But yeah, I have a glitch. The only thing that I will say that I'm able to interact with my dreams is I have like a glitchy shadow person, I would say. Oh, it's long. Ooh, it does have an audible. Okay, I could do audible. Like for me, it's a lot easier. Like I have like reading disabilities. I have hard time reading. So like if I can get it as an audiobook, that'd be amazing. I'm someone that I benefit greatly from audiobooks. Not to say I do have physical books. I own like a whole library of physical books. But generally when I want to enjoy a series, I just go and I will just go and have it put on a audiobook or put on a AI audiobook and just do that. But I'll check out Stormlight. Like I'm always open to new reads and new books personally cuz it's cool, I like new things, you know. I like trying new things once in a while. But yeah, I'm sorry YouTube audience if you're not if like I have not been talking with you cuz my system is right now glitching out to where it won't let me see the chat in the Twitch chat at the same time because StreamerBot just glitched out like 2 hours ago. To where I can't see it. So don't worry. I'm clicking back and forth to the YouTube one. It's just I might be slow to see your chat. But yeah. But yeah, I'm like my dreams are weird. I'm the only one that can say that, you know, I don't know how people, you know, I don't like when people describe lucid dreaming, it seems like cool. I wish that was cool, but for me it's just like I'm a fourth dimensional being. I'm just watching people. I'm just here, you know. I'm just here for the shits and giggles. But yeah. But the only thing I can interact with is like a staticky shadow that comes along with me. I call it static. And like I do have like a mind palace, I will say. Like my mind palace, if I were to describe it, it's like I have an apartment, but there's windows on all sides except for one wall. So it would make zero sense as like a house, like being apartment because it couldn't like geographically there would be no way it could be an apartment because unless like this is and I'm not talking a big apartment. This is like a tiny apartment. Like effectively a tiny apartment. Like it's like my mind palace is a tiny apartment. I've got like windows on all sides except for the door. I got a cool kitchenette with like a little espresso machine, and a little like counter space. I've drawn the layout of it. My friend is an architect, and she was like, you have a very, very detailed like mind palace. Are you able to like draw it? Like, and I drew her like a whole architectural plan of what it looks like. I have a very clear idea of what it looks like. The bathroom is like on the back corner of the apartment in its own little room. I have like a TV thing. Everything's open concept, but there's like walls that they are partition walls, so they move around. Like they move. And then I have like a little closet space where it's like made out of little like cubbies, like crates and cubbies, where it's like a whole closet area and like that's right next to the bathroom. That can be closed off with the same partition doors. And then like I have like filing cabinets by my bed in my mind palace. I have like a radio. And this radio is always stuck. Is always fucking stuck. So every now and then I'll be stuck on the same song and getting a fucking earworm from it. But yeah, I'll be stuck going and playing the same line over and over and over and over and annoying the hell out of me. And then basically when I have the filing cabinet is an infinite filing cabinet. So basically when you open it up, it just goes on for infinitely. If I were to describe it, but it always stops on whatever you're looking at. And then the apartment, there's a downstairs bar to this apartment. There's a downstairs bar to the apartment in my mind palace. Like a whole bar area to this mind palace. And there is there's a back office next to the bar that is like often like a little corridor hallway. And then there's like seating everywhere. And then there's a bartender there when I look at it. When I walk out of the bartending area, I just see think like a graffiti, but the graffiti is beautiful. Like beautiful graffiti. Beautiful graffiti, but it's a mixture of like white limestone and red brick. Like that's the best way I can describe it for like what my mind palace looks like. Like that's how I see it. Like whenever I'm like, okay, let's go there, let's go into peace and serenity, it's not anything special. Like you could tell I'm very humble with the fact I give myself in my own head a studio apartment. I don't actually I'm like, oh, I'm not living lavishly in even my own brain. I'm not living lavishly. I'm just living in a studio apartment, which is kind of hilarious. I'm not even I don't even have that. House flipper mind palace. Yeah. I'm just that's how I am. I'm just I'm fairly I don't not that I don't think highly of myself, but I'm not that I don't think of myself as anything really special per se. I'm not very special. I do have a really good personality, and I do have things that like I do that are very exceptional, and I'm able to make a lot of impossible things happen. But would I say to myself that I am like very special? I wouldn't say that. That's my only thing. That's in my mind. I can't. That's why like when I started this channel, I couldn't conceive of myself. When I started this channel, I conceived of everything that can go wrong if it succeeds. Like, I only thought of everything that would go wrong. Not that it would do well. That everything that would go wrong if it succeeded. So, I have a very optimistic and pessimistic point of view of life. I don't know why. But yeah. I think this is where I've got to end it. Because it is, like, very early in the morning. And I know if I don't go to sleep now, I'm going to be waking up probably at 7 o'clock p.m. tomorrow. Well, not tomorrow, today, because it's today now. But yeah, so I'm going to end the stream. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you for getting me to 200 and for getting me to 47. That's amazing. Thank you. And we will be back next week on Monday. We should be back on Monday. Just know, like always, something's gonna happen. You know me with technical difficulties. I always have something going on. But we should be doing that, and I'm gonna try a earlier time. I'm gonna try an earlier time. So stay tuned. If you want the schedule, go on YouTube. YouTube is where I post the schedules. Because Twitch wants a very concrete time and weekly, and I can't adjust days with Twitch. I'll let you go. Have a wonderful day.